Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio is my lovely wife, the co-host of this podcast and overall great gal, Melissa Nickerson is here, everybody.
Hey there.
As well as producer Andy. We're here, everybody. We are in our state-of-the-art studio. I might have said that already. I'm a little tired, and we're figuring out, and we're above Public Square Coffee, which we're drinking here.
That's
Cheers,
right.
to us. It's so great to be here, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our little podcast that could. Welcome back, backseaters. It is great to talk to you here.
It's the end of March.
On this March 29th.
Yes.
March 29th.
It's about to be April.
It's the best March 29th I've ever had. We're definitely not recording this in the past. My special came out yesterday. I feel so good about it.
I mean, just the reviews are coming.
Yesterday. Yesterday.
We had a Zoom hang yesterday.
Yesterday. You guys were great. You looked fantastic. All of you you all had great outfits on and had great lighting. It really was great. I did Bert Kreischer's podcast yesterday. It was super fun. Today I did Adam Carolla's and Tom Papa's and Fortunes and what other one? There's another one in there.
Another one?
I did three. I'm doing three today. Oh, and Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guys. Yeah. I'm doing those all today.
Fantastic.
And I think I'm on TV tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
I think I'm on James Corden tomorrow.
What a week.
It's a busy week.
All right.
It's a busy week. But that's because my second comedy special, Runs in the Family, is out right now.
Woo.
Lord, I hope it is. If it's not, something has gone terribly wrong. And it's on the YouTube. Yeah, you know how to find stuff on the internet. If you have found your way to this podcast, then certainly you have found your way to that podcast or special.
That website.
Yeah, yeah. The way I feel right now reminds me of a Tuesday earlier this month when I had flown home from Seattle, Washington at like 5 a.m. After being there all weekend with my son, of which we're going to do a weekend recap of that time.
Okay.
It isn't that Tuesday right now.
We're just transporting back.
I'm trying to, I'm trying to remember,
what that felt like.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to do a weekend recap time about Seattle. We're going to talk about, we've got some more Teen Driver stuff. I have a very funny story that I want to tell you that Claire brought up to me. And we'll just see what else happens. Yeah, we it's.
I think we're going to talk about Seattle a lot.
I think Seattle's. I'm thinking so too. So we'll figure it all out there.
Okay.
Before we do all that, we mentioned the Patreon Zoom hang. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to that. If you if hypothetically, oh no, it's too late. You already missed that. If you're not familiar with Patreon,
catch the next one.
Yeah, Patreon is just a way that you can give a little more to the podcast and get a little more from the podcast. If you check out patreon.com/Dustin Nickerson, a comedy, one or the other. It's in the show bio. You guys know how to find stuff on the internet. We don't have to hold your hand through these things.
Also, all the links are
the links are right there. You can get some stickers. You can get some merch discounts.
You can get VIP meet and greets at shows. You can get early release access to videos and news.
All kinds of stuff.
All about
they knew
DNC.
about the special way earlier.
Yeah, we pull them when we interview guests. They can submit questions.
Oh yeah, all the
monthly
questions.
Zoom hang.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great stuff. We love you, patrons, and that's growing, and it's growing wide and deep, which is what you want. You want both of those things.
The depth is there.
Speaking of shows from like the meet and greet shows, the Halfway There tour is kicking off here shortly.
That's right.
Lots of cities, everybody. We're really getting out there. We're kicking off on May 19th and 20th in Salt Lake City, then May 23rd in Brea, the 26th, 27th, Des Moines, Iowa. Then we're off to June 13th and 14th, Chicago. The 15th, Rosemont, Illinois. 16th and 17th, San Diego. The 18th, LA. 21st, Orlando. 22nd, Tampa. The 24th and 25th, Boston. The 28th, Charlotte, the 29th, Raleigh. Into July, the 1st, North Charleston. The 6th through 9th, Tacoma Comedy Club. The 12th, Liberty, Ohio. The 13th, Columbus, Ohio. The 14th through 16th, Pittsburgh. 21st through 22nd, Nashville. The 28th, Atlanta. Into August, the 2nd, San Jose. The 10th and 11th, Sacramento. 23rd, Omaha. 24th, Milwaukee. 25th, Minneapolis. 26th, Tulsa. 27th, Addison. September 1st and 2nd is Houston. September 3rd is Oklahoma City. This one just went on sale. September 4th, Austin. And then we're into December, because I'll be back out with Tay in that time, Cleveland, Ohio for the 7th through the 9th. I do think that is the only ones that I think we're going to add before December are San Antonio and Kansas City. So if you're upset that I'm not coming to the city, then just tell me. Just bug me enough. That's how I end up going to cities, because I'll tell my agent, which is just telling me to do it later. When someone goes, hey, come to Vancouver, BC.
It's like marketing.
Yeah, I make a note, and I go, Vancouver, BC. That's the place we're going to go. So,
are you promising to go to Vancouver?
I am. We're working on Vancouver, yeah.
Okay.
Vancouver's great. Vancouver's my favorite city.
No, it's just, it's more work.
I mean, it's a little bit more work. It is a little bit more work to get to.
It's a little more work.
Yeah. It really is not hard, because there's a lot of directs to Vancouver from the West Coast.
Yeah. It's hard for merch. But anyway,
spoken like a real CFO.
Yeah. Let's
Mel wants 0 international dates, because it does make the books a little more complicated.
It's like 20 cents here, 30 cents there.
It is a lot of that, and you can't use your
taxes.
If I remember correctly, the last time I went there and sold merch was like 5-6 years ago, and you couldn't use your Square reader there, which made sense. Is that still the case, Andy? Do you know, or have you? Yeah, you wouldn't. You don't know that off the top of your head.
Canada?
No, I've not been to Canada recently, unfortunately.
I didn't hear that in my ears, by the way. Did you? Are you on?
How about now?
There he is. Yeah.
Like a warm hug.
There it is.
Right. So you haven't been to Canada?
No, I've not. I've not been to Canada. I've wanted to be in the BC.
What countries have you been to, other than the United States?
South Africa, Germany, Italy, Amsterdam, France, Switzerland.
That's a good list.
Nice.
It's a good list.
Nice.
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mel?
Where have I been?
What countries have you been to? United States of America?
Canada, Mexico, U.S.
You said you haven't been to Canada. I've been to Canada with you. Yeah.
And I also went and saw my friend.
Oh, that's right.
So I've been to Okinawa, Japan. I've been to South Korea. Seoul.
You've been to France. You've been to England.
France, Germany, Austria.
England.
Switzerland? Is that?
Switzerland is a country. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let you off the hook here.
Okay.
You don't have to do that.
That's about it.
I've been to the least amount. I've been to the most amount of states in this place, but I've been to the least amount of countries. I've been to the United States, of course, Canada, Mexico, and Ecuador. That's right. Those are the ones that I've been to. But
just you
here
wait.
in Haiti. I've also been to Haiti.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you another place I've been. Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
Seattle, Washington. So this last 3 weeks ago, we went up to Seattle. Seattle, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, that's the only way you wouldn't know that, is where I spent my first 27 years of life. And we had 2 kids there. We fell in love there. We went to college there. Melissa lived there from 14 to 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you spent 13 years there. That's the longest you've lived in one place.
Yeah. I'm about to.
San Diego's about to take the lead over that.
I'm about to hit that in San Diego.
Yeah. Mel went to Seattle Pacific University. I went to UW. We had many dark, dreary days in the Northwest together, and a few sunny ones.
Not really.
Well, that was a funny memory, and I told Joel this. So I went this last weekend with Joel. Is last summer you and I went, and we had like a picture perfect day.
Yeah, we went in September.
Which is we went
the
to Alki.
month
It
to
was
go to
incredible. It was beautiful. It was so nice. We were riding Lime scooters. We were
Sunset
eating
over Golden Gardens.
Oh, it was incredible. And you did consider moving back for a
Thai
second.
food. Yeah.
You were like, "This is great." I forgot how beautiful. And then it rained
The next day.
The next day, and you're like, "Never mind." I hate this so much. Seattle has Seattle will. It's one of those cities that a lot of people have like a hot take on.
Especially the internet. The internet, because you posted that Austin, Dallas clip recently.
Yeah.
And the internet's like, Seattle is trash. And like, it's literally a pile of trash. And
you would think that's what people make you think. They're like, well, you're pretty much going to a dump. You're just gonna go.
Dumpster.
You're just gonna walk around. Seattle is one big messy backseat of a car. That's what Seattle is, and Portland's even worse. If you don't like a place, that's okay. I don't care if you like it or don't like it.
you don't have to go there.
You also it's okay for you to. This is a pet peeve of mine. Like, if you like a place, great. I'll talk about places being like underrated and overrated.
Right, like you did. With
I did Austin and stuff. But if you don't, it's just so. Portland is a dump. Well, don't go. You don't have to go. It's not for you. Okay? I like it. You don't have to like it.
Well, here's my question. Do you use Amazon?
Yeah.
Because if you use Amazon, then you are interconnected to Seattle.
I had somebody on stage.
And I know some people don't use Amazon, but
on stage I said I was from Seattle recently, and someone booed me. They just booed me. And I was like, who boos a whole city? Like, I didn't control where I was born. You hate everything that place has ever created. Every Starbucks, Microsoft,
Nirvana
doing nothing
there.
for you? Are you
No.
across the board like, no, I'm Duncan, Apple, Metallica.
I know. I guess it's just
I refuse to take anything from that dumpster of a city.
the West Coast. I mean, I do think a lot of the country, at least online and how they present online, would like the West Coast to fall into the ocean.
They really would.
Because we
Yeah.
were in Alabama last summer, and there was a woman from the Northeast.
Yeah.
And she was like, ugh, West Coast. And she was like, you know, right? And we're like, no, we just told you we live there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she was like, ew. Like,
Yeah,
like,
and you're like, oh, yeah. You know what's beautiful? Philly.
no, like she was,
You know what's a gorgeous city you can't miss? Downtown Baltimore. Like,
she was
it's
just convinced
I know
that we
that-
were going to agree with her that, like, the West Coast
Yeah.
is terrible.
this is our country has been so politically polarized
Yeah.
that you're not allowed to enjoy a place unless it's the same color as you politically, and that's so embarrassing. Like, it's so embarrassing.
I guess if you just listen 24/7 to people trashing, you know, like liberal cities,
Yeah.
then you really do just go, like, your reflex is like, ugh, trash,
Right.
boo, you know.
I don't get it.
Yay, genocide.
Yeah.
Like, whoa,
Yeah.
fall into the ocean. We're talking millions
Yeah.
of people.
I gotta get rid of those California. I like when I tell people I live in California and they go, "Oh, what's that like?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's lovely." I mean, I live in San Diego. It's sunny, 200 plus days a year. It's politically moderate because it's Southern California, but it's a military town. Beaches are everywhere. We hike in the winter. Our golf courses never close. We eat outside in January. It's pretty pleasant. It's a pretty nice. Pretty
nice vibe.
Yeah. I like it, but you don't have to like it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had the
Well,
live where you want to live. Live where you want your kids to live. If you want to live in Texas,
be proud
great.
of where you live.
Be proud of where you live.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
And
I like
you
a
get
place.
to be proud of where you live because you live here. You choose to live here.
I just think it's so funny when you would hate a person or you would hate a whole city. And just say what you really mean. Just say what you really mean. You don't want to remember that there's poor people. Just say it. Just say say what you really mean. Oh, the homeless people. Okay. You don't want to remember that there's poor. You want to know in theory that they're there. You just don't want to see them. You want the government to handle them. Okay. That's fine.
The taxes are offensive to you.
All right. Take that last part out. I don't know.
No, but it doesn't affect them. That's what I mean.
I'm here to tell you, as an absolute subject matter expert, as someone who has been to every state and has been to every major American city other than New Orleans. I have been everywhere. Every place is great. Every place sucks. Every city in America is wonderful, and it also is terrible. It has something great about it that no other place has, and it also has 5 streets that you never want to go down, either because you're in danger or you're bored. Like there's sleepy towns.
Pick the city.
Pick where you want to live, and don't care where other people want to live. And when it comes to family, it's raise your kids where you want to raise your kids. Like I like New York, but I would never raise a kid in New York. I'd like to have a little bit of space, you know.
Well, I don't know. I think you can raise your kids anywhere, but I do think it's challenging. Like, you know, we have teenagers. So we're like, no, we're not really looking at other places to raise our children because they're so established.
Right.
You know, but I don't. I mean, if you start in New York, you start in New York.
Yeah,
a lot of people just go to, like, New Jersey or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Burby. You know, suburban.
Is Jersey burbs? I don't know.
Suburban.
Jersey is like...
yeah, my brother lives in New Jersey.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they just have, like, yards.
Yeah, he's got
you know?
yards, houses,
Yeah.
families,
Mm-hmm.
emo bands, lots of emo bands.
Really?
Some of the best
It
in
is.
the world.
It is a depressing place.
Yes.
I've only been to when I film at MLB Network, which they were like live from New York. They're like, we are in Jersey. This was a $100 Lyft ride from the city. This is we are definitely not in New York here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Seattle is, though, where we're from, as someone who was raised in that area and you went to school in that area, again, it's just a place. It's just fine. But the city has changed in some ways, I think, for the better, some ways for the worse.
It has changed.
It has changed a lot.
We lived there like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we left 12 years ago.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
Here's one, people's fascination and like constant rants about homelessness in liberal cities. Here's what's good about it is you will think that when you go there that you're going to a metropolis that is a homeless encampment, and then you get there and you're like, oh, this wasn't that bad. But that's because someone took a video of the really bad areas or a couple bad. And don't get me wrong, it's a massive issue, and Lord knows we're not going to figure it out on this podcast.
Right.
But you go, because the last few times I've been like, it's not that bad. But then I hear people say like, no, it's gotten bad or worse, and you're like, I understand.
It does depend where you're looking
and what you experience while you're out there, because we know San Diego's situation best because we're in it the most. But it's we had a lovely time. It was great. Here's some great things that about the city. Seattle Kraken we went to a game. It made me so happy as a Seattleite to see Lower Queen Anne bumping again, because Key Arena was the heartbeat of Lower Queen Anne when the Sonics were there. Yeah. And Key Arena is so cool. It's just built into the hill there. It's so accessible. It's easy to walk in and out of. We went before. We met up. We had dinner beforehand. We went to Dick's. It's right there. It's great. We did the taste test. This was great. This is the Seattle. Joel, being from Seattle but didn't remember Dick's, we're like, okay, the In-N-Out versus Dick's. This is a thing that only Seattleites think about. This is kind of like when people go like, does the state of Oregon considers Washington a rival? but Washington considers California a rival. They're like, yeah, I mean, you're not even a real
Yeah.
rival. You know, like it's.
I don't know how many Dick's Burgers there are, but it's
There's only,
probably like a handful.
There's like 4 or 5.
And they're mainly just in Seattle
They're
proper.
all in Seattle proper. I think there might be
Yeah.
one in Spokane too. But
But
I don't.
locals are like, it's way better than In-N-Out. That's
Yeah.
kind of the.
Here's the review of a 15-year-old.
Okay.
Shake
very
is
similar.
better.
Very similar.
Shake is better at Dick's.
Dick's. Okay.
Shake is better at Dick's. I took a drink. I had not had a milkshake in about 6 months, so it's the best milkshake I've ever had. I was like, oh my gosh, have you ever had this?
I think they're thick.
They're very thick. They're a little more malty, I think,
Okay.
on the side.
Yeah.
The milkshake is better. Fries are better, which is very easy to beat In-N-Out
Yeah,
fries.
In-N-Out
fries,
does.
yeah.
It gets trashed.
Generally suck.
Yeah.
If something really sucks in this world,
Yeah, it's In-N-Out fries.
Everyone's like, they're not that good.
they
No.
need animal style. Like it's just
Yeah. They're very
Mm-hmm.
blah. And the burger is not as good, but the whole Dick's experience is much greasier. So the fries are greasier, and the burger is greasier too. Whereas the In-N-Out burger is actually a pretty fresh burger. That's
Do they have the spread? No, the animal style. I mean, the spread is like that.
the secret sauce or whatever.
secret
Yeah,
sauce.
that's on the Dick's
In-N-Out.
Deluxe. Yeah, and that's
Oh,
what
so
Joel
they've
got. Yeah,
they've got it too.
I just got a
Okay.
sad little hamburger. Because I was gonna be on TV later that week, and I was like, boo. Plus I was gonna
You
go to
get the
that
lettuce-
game.
Lettuce bun.
Yeah. Plus I was going to that game, and I was like, well, I bet they have a Kraken IPA on tap, and they did. And I had a few because we were walking back to the hotel,
Nice.
and I had a DD even if we didn't. And my son who has a permit. No, I did not.
Wasn't his shirt on the rental car.
No.
And
We
didn't have his permit.
it is. I will. Here's what's fun about when dad son travel is it's very bachelory.
Yeah.
And so like there's
the hotel room is
no-
trashed.
I mean every hotel room I've ever stayed in is trash in the sense that I just
You just like drop stuff.
yeah. There's just piles of clothes
Yeah.
that are kind of
Shoes,
yeah. Those go
anything.
there. And
Trash.
stunningly, I can't find stuff a lot. The trash I'm pretty good about putting away because that gets gross. You know, it's just kind of Sometimes instead of if I'm gonna get the room serviced, I'll clean up a little.
The irony.
Yeah. Like, I can't let them see.
All your clothes.
I can't let them see who I really am here. Unless I'm leaving, then I'll be like,
You
yeah.
never get the room serviced.
I never do.
Yeah.
I don't. But that's because
Yeah.
I feel like I have to clean up a little.
Okay.
I don't want them to. I feel judged.
I love
I
love
love it.
getting the
yeah.
room cleaned up. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, you love coming back to a room tidied up.
Yeah.
You love when the maid puts like the stuffed animal on there when the kids are staying there.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
The simple pleasures. What is it? Is it? Well, it's because
Well,
you
'cause
usually do it yourself.
I was just vacuuming at home.
It's like when you come and stay in a green room with like Tay and
yeah,
there's like
she has all her stuff.
and there's like berries in or there was some fruit and you're like I haven't.
a fruit tray.
You said
Yeah.
someone hasn't chopped my fruit for me in a while.
No.
It's been a minute since.
Yeah, that's why like bagged salad. You're like, oh wow, it's all here.
Are people still mixing
It's
a
not
fresh
fresh,
salad? Is
but-
that a thing that people do still? Seems
I
like
do.
What's that?
I mean,
I do.
It's better.
Yeah, you're like
it's better. But you're a
stuff with-
mixologist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he like
I make my own dressing. Like I don't
yeah.
buy dressing. I'm like, why would I
he
buy
needed
dressing?
to change
Yeah.
a mirror in his bathroom this week and painted as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy's a DIY
And then I think
guy.
you said he built a door. Did I hear you build a door in there somewhere?
Well, I ripped off the cabinet doors and make new ones.
Yeah.
So that'll happen in the next couple weeks here.
Yeah.
Very handy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's up Don's alley. Don, your dad.
My dad, yeah.
He loves a good sanded down table. He'll be like, this
Yeah.
finish is really nice.
That's like
I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate. Oh yeah.
Oh, the grain.
Yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
like knowing like, oh, that's at least like, 5 passes and a, nice finish and a
Yeah.
and a seal.
We watched a TikTok recently of a guy who like refurnished this like table, this mid-century table that he
Yeah.
got, and then he resold it or whatever.
Yeah.
And he showed us all the steps, and it was
That's
pretty
like
involved.
big on the internet.
It was pretty
like
involved.
Refinishing videos.
And he sold it for like a $200 profit, and I was like, that's not a good deal.
No,
I mean,
because
it
the
took
hours.
you 3 days.
Yeah, like they're like, let this dry for a day, and then it
Yeah.
comes back and videos again, and
Yeah.
I mean,
and you were video editing that whole time? Yeah, that's yeah, it was a bad rate.
But he likes it.
He likes it.
Yeah,
He likes it. If it's a fun hobby to him, I guess.
I know.
Well-
Sometimes my friend who was like DIY, she gave us this bookcase, and she was like, you can just like sand it and then repaint it, and I was like, Olivia, that's literally never going to happen. Like, I already put all my kids' books on it. Like,
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah, it holds a thing in the house now.
Yeah, it's sturdy.
Well,
That's all I need.
there are a lot of things. Aging has some real pros and cons. One of the pros is you know what you are interested and not interested in.
Yeah.
Like refinishing a table, hard pass. The hardest of passes.
That thing would be like sitting in the yard for
Yeah.
like weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Gardening, hard pass. You know,
Cat ownership.
Gone. Owning a home, dead.
I'm 3 for 4 there, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
There is just I don't feel the pressures that were maybe on us in like our 20s a little bit to be like,
We're going in different directions.
yeah, and I think that that's fine. I think that you're like, well, no, but we have
Everything you just described is like fantastic.
great if you're into it.
If you're into it.
And if you want to live in New York, then live in New York.
Yeah.
I'm not crapping on your lifestyle doesn't affect my lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, if you're into that, then be into that. If you want to collect clocks, what do I care?
Exactly.
You know, is that your thing? Melissa, I did get you a new clock for your birthday.
Oh,
That's well, it's because you've been running late a lot lately. I'm off the. We've been recording a lot of episodes lately.
Yeah. They're all intermixing.
Mel and I need to regain some new stories here.
We just said we were going to talk about Seattle.
Well,
and
that's we still.
we did talk
what
for
I was gonna-
a second about the Kraken game.
What I was going to tell you was what's great about father-son trip is real bachelor style. Hotel's very messy.
It's
I'm
just like
a Hertz.
sleep and shower
I'm
kind
a
of hotel.
Hertz shower. Hilarious. I'm a Hertz Gold member, which means I got the thing where they're like, we'll just go pick anything from the presidential circle.
Oh my
Which
gosh,
means
the car's in a circle.
if it's just me, the car's in a circle. It's not a literal circle.
I imagine them all facing
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
exactly.
So everyone has to back out.
It's like a showroom. Yeah. And you have to stand in the middle and spin. Which one do you want? Which means if it's me on the road, I always take like a mid-size SUV. That's my go-to rental car on the road.
I didn't know that.
I like a mid-size SUV.
Okay.
It's just a little spacier, a little higher up,
Spacious.
a little easier to get the bag in and out of because the trunk space is better.
Okay.
Wider entry of the trunk because the thing pops open as opposed to getting it into the little cubby.
Yeah.
But Joel wanted the Dodge Charger. So we drove around a Dodge Charger. And I will say that Seattle, it's so cliche, but you do forget how unaggressive the drivers are.
Yeah.
And I've been driving in Southern California for 11 years, and there's like a lot of like, go! Don't let me in. I will let myself in, you know?
I know. It is a very nice driver, like, climate.
Right.
Like, it's just like,
It's very
go ahead,
friendly.
go ahead.
Yeah, which I think ties in nicely to what one of the things we're going to talk about is, so our son is learning to drive, and I have thrown out the window. Our son is learning to drive, and when he is sitting next to me watching me
He's judging
drive,
you.
I just tell him, don't drive like me. I won't, because there was a little bit of a window there where I was like, I'm gonna drive the proper way when he's in the
Responsibly.
car, and now it's too slow. It's boring. He's like, my son will be like 10 and 2. I'm like, I'm 0 and 0 right now. I have no hands on the wheel. I have a neon 6 right now. This is what I'm doing. I got a coffee and I got to check the text situation here, and I got to change the YouTube video. Do as for me, do as I say, not as I do. But I've been trying to tell him, like, learn from your mom. Mom's a very careful driver. And also, I've been driving for over 20 years. Yeah. And I told him today, like, if he gets a ticket, he loses his license from me. Like, I was like, if you get a ticket, you're going to lose your license for a couple months from me. Like, I'm going to take it away. And he was like, how many tickets have you gotten? I was like, 4, but none in the last 10 years. Like, it was all, I don't know. This is me more telling you this than anything, that I can't, I just don't have the patience to be a good model driver to him. Yeah. I'm too impatient of a driver.
I get that.
I'm very aggressive.
I understand. This goes back to, like, knowing what things you like.
Yeah.
Now, in your middle age, you're like, I'm not a good driver.
Oh no, I am a good driver. Like skill.
But I'm like you're like a.
I'm an aggressive driver. I'm an impatient, aggressive driver. Yeah. But I haven't been in a real accident since I was.
Sometimes you scare me. But,
yeah. But that shows I'm a good driver. Like NASCAR drivers, they're in near accidents all the time, but there's precision movements.
Okay.
They know what they're doing. I am a bad parallel parker.
Yeah.
I usually get out of the car. This is funny. So the other night I did a Don't Tell set, and I drove Don't Tell comedy. I drove the minivan. I don't remember why I was in the van.
I don't either.
We were back and forth and all night.
Yeah.
But
you left the track meet to make the set.
Oh, right, because you had the car. I took an Uber from the track meet to our house to get the other car, because we should have driven separate. Yeah. That was the day that I
took the van.
I took the van in
to North Park.
To University Heights.
Okay.
Which is, they wish they were North Park.
Right.
University Heights is San Diego's 4th coolest fringe neighborhood. It's like you go North Park,
Kensington. I don't know.
I don't know. North Park's number 1. Normal Heights number 2. Yeah. Maybe I'll give University Heights 3. But I had this great parallel park spot that I was so proud to show you.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to show you how well and then I got there and I realized I had just parked in front of a driveway.
In the minivan.
It was still a good spot. It was just highly illegal what I had done.
Yeah. So the other day, Joel and I were driving on the freeway. He wasn't driving yet on the freeway, but we were driving and we saw a teen driver. He was in a Tesla SUV with the "Be patient, I'm a teen driver"
oh my gosh,
magnet.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel about that?
Your kid's first car should be taken from a demolition derby. You should not. Getting your kid a new car is such irresponsible parenting.
Throwing money away.
You need to get your kid a safe car, not a new car. You're just they're not an extension of you like that. Like I understand that you're trying to give your kid a nice thing.
Do that.
I think that I think there's two there's 2 motives there. One, you're giving your kid a nice car, like a fancy nice car,
so you can tell people,
so they can experience the joy of the nice car. I get that. I understand that. Everybody likes to give their kids nice gifts. All right. The other one is like, look at this.
Look what I got my kid.
Look what I got my kid. My kid drives this,
Yeah.
It's important that our family, this school, all the other families know that we're rich. And I think both of those motives are dumb.
Yeah.
I think that's you.
Well, or his parent has a Tesla SUV and they're letting him or her learn to drive on it. That's just like insane.
Used Hondas.
But there was a sticker though.
Yeah, that's so funny.
The parents like, I'm going to throw this on the Tesla.
So those are magnet. They come off. Yeah. Yeah. They're nice,
I'm telling you.
3-pack on Amazon.
Yeah. Used Hondas exist for teens' first cars. That's why they are there.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old Nissan exists for your 16-year-old to start driving. So when they hit a curb and they get a little ding, you're like, I don't know, that's part of the car now.
Yeah.
That's part of the personality of that vehicle.
Mm-hmm. It builds character.
Listen, I've never bought a new car for us.
No.
We're not car people
we're not.
because we have like personalities.
Oh, Dustin! Shots fired.
What?
Oh.
If you like cars, that's me being a huge hypocrite there, right? If you want
Trash.
if you want to be into cars, that's fine. The only thing, you know what, it doesn't negatively affect me. You know what does negatively affect me that I don't like that you're into is a loud car. Who's that for?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that for? The other people driving loud cars?
I don't know.
Everybody else hates you. You just disrupted. People are trying to have a coffee outside. You're setting off alarms. You're upsetting dogs. You're waking up babies and grandmas.
Yeah.
You're terrorizing the nursing home. Who's that for?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I guess just to get a look back.
Yeah.
I guess.
It must be a
know.
thing in that car culture that impresses each other.
I mean, it says
Power?
I have power. Yeah,
Power.
that's
Yeah.
what that is.
Uh-huh.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a total power trip.
Or like
Yeah.
influence.
And then once
But
you're
you
in it, then
don't.
you're in a culture. But then you're in a culture of
Oh.
it, and then it's just like then we're all just comparing our power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's like. I guess.
Your face. Your
Yeah,
face.
I guess that's like when comedians get together and talk about TikTok followers. To the
Yes, that's exactly what it's like.
to the outside world, they're like, "What?" And I was like, "No, this is like important here. It's like a big deal.
It's a flex.
It's like a flex over here." Oh. Gloria said to me the other day, "This is a story that summarizes teenagers. This is a quick story that summarizes teenagers' priorities."
Yeah.
Gloria said to me the other day, she goes, "When I get my license, can I get Grandpa's car?" And I go, "Well, what is Grandpa gonna drive?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, I just assumed he would have died by then."
Oh my gosh.
And I go,
That's
and
like 3 years away.
and that's what I said. I'm like, "Gloria, you're 12."
2.5 years from now.
Yeah. You're like, "Gloria, that's so soon." And I
She's
go,
13, but yes. Oh,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
"Yeah, Gloria, you're 13.
Oh
you
my
think in
gosh.
less than 3 years, Grandpa's gonna be dead?"
She's like doing the math.
Yeah, she's like, "Well, it is a nice car."
It is a nice car. It is a nice car. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
The 13-year-old brain is it's not
It's not fully formed.
the most impossible
No.
thing to teach a child is perspective.
Yes,
know,
100%. Of course.
And like the fact
Especially a
that
teenager.
I know that it feels like an eternity until you get your license, but it's not. It's not so long that's the amount of time that a grandparent dies.
Yeah, I mean, in her
'Cause
head,
in her head,
16 is like forever
Yeah.
away.
In her
Yeah.
head, 16 is so far away.
Yeah.
We'll be near death.
Yeah.
You're like, well, Dad and Mom will have been retired.
The grandparents will pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it'll be 4 presidents from now.
Exactly.
The Earth will have aged considerably.
I do think that it's kind of like dog years. The teenage years are kind of like dog years.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like,
yeah.
in their mind.
In their minds.
You know?
The teenage years
Because
do...
the difference between 13 and 16 or 13 and 18 is catastrophic. Like,
Yeah.
You know? So.
You're right. The teenage years, when you're in them, they do move slow.
Yeah.
Really, childhood in general. You
Mhm.
can't even, comprehend how far away that is.
Yeah.
And then you get old and you're like, I don't even want to know it's my birthday.
Don't tell me.
No. Celebrate. Celebrate my impending doom. Celebrate that I'm nearer my demise
I know. I think.
and entering into the great unknown each day.
So.
Yeah,
yesterday,
bring me some candles so I can blow them out like God's about to blow out my life.
You're really going through some stuff.
Tis but a vapor.
Yesterday, we did
Every
this.
once in a while, I just go to the beach and I write my name near the water, and then I just watch.
Oh my god!
I watch the water roll it out to remember how that's gonna be me. Just the name and my existence
You're
just
gonna be erased.
and it'll have just been another wave, come and gone. No one will even have known. You'll be dead. Gloria will have her license by then.
She'll have Grandpa's car for sure.
The imagery is so depressing.
Yeah. It's a funny podcast about family. Everybody, let's tune in. So I interrupted you to go on my morbid.
No,
thing.
it's fine. So yesterday we did this podcast and somebody asked us how long we'd been married, and it was the first time we rounded up to 19
Yeah.
years, and that means that when we have our 20th wedding anniversary, I have my 40th birthday. Because we got married so young. That seems like a lot.
That's
as far as impending waves
you guys,
of doom.
Everything that I'm going through right now, see Mel summer 2024. Mel is going to be in it. 20 years married, 40 years old. Crazy you'll have been married half your life.
Yeah.
You know? You don't usually get that by 40.
No.
You look great. You look young.
Well.
You might not by next summer.
No.
You might look 40. It could be a bad year.
It's okay to look your age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is okay to look your age.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an interview.
Accurate.
I saw an interview with Courtney Cox talk about that.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how one of the biggest flaws that she regrets is that she started thinking she was old before she was actually old.
Yeah.
And she started to work, and she talked about she had a lot of injections removed afterwards because she's like, I thought it was important to look my age and just be an older person.
Yeah, Jennifer Garner talks about that too.
Yeah.
But
I heard Courtney Cox talk about it, all right?
They are not like, I don't get work done. They say, wait as long as you can to get work done.
Yeah, which is a little bit like giving your kid a nice car. We get it. You have money. Yeah, it's a real privilege there.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to tell one more story.
Okay.
And then we got to get out of here.
We do.
Because I have to go get a shave and a trim because I was on TV a couple weeks ago or tomorrow. Time is not real right now. I have the time stone.
You're just phasing in and out.
Yeah. Claire came up to me. Our 9-year-old came up to me the other day, and she goes, Daddy, I finally figured out how kids have both mom and dad's DNA in them.
Okay.
And I go, oh, really? Do tell. And she goes, well, even though we come from our moms, she goes, we still have some of dad's DNA, right? And I'm like, yes. And she goes, well, I've been wondering how they get it in there. And I'm like, just say it. And she goes, it makes sense to me because they kiss so much. And so some of dad's spit and saliva would be inside of mom's body. And I was like, yes, that is true. That is true.
So I guess we just never have to have the talk with Claire. She's got it figured out.
Yeah. And I was like, everything that you said.
So kissing makes babies.
No, she didn't say that.
No.
She did not say kissing makes baby, but she did say that she has some of my DNA, which is correct, and that she said that part of the reason she gets it is because of the kissing, which is not accurate, but there is some DNA
That's
swapped.
Adorable.
It was really cute, and it was a nerve-wracking experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I was like, listen, no, let me tell you about some other fluids we swap.
Like when you share a drink, right?
Yeah, when you share a drink. Okay, we're off the rails here. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast.
I'm going to interrupt.
Oh, yeah.
You did not finish the hockey game story.
Oh, my gosh, the hockey game story. You have to interrupt.
Thank you.
Joel's first ever hockey game.
I actually went to a San Diego Gulls game with him.
Joel's first ever NHL game. Because that's minor league hockey.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot to say that. So, shout out Brian Gale out in Boston, gave us some incredible tickets. I think technically it was his wife. Thank you so much. So nice.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. Otherwise, I would give the shout out. Great seats, second row, on the ice. It was incredible. The seats so good they were almost bad seats because you couldn't quite see down the other way. But you're not going to complain when they hit the glass and you're like, oh my gosh, you're right there.
Right there.
It was so great. At one point, a puck goes, I have no idea how it got out. I think it hit a skate and then a stick. It was in the air, and it landed in front of us. Foul balls happen in baseball games, maybe 20 a game, something like that. 3 pucks left the arena left the ice that time, and I think that was maybe once or twice a game usually. How much do you think?
And even then, there's nets that usually catch the puck because it's pretty hard. And if you get hit by it, and they're usually they wrap the back of the goals.
Yeah.
So it has to get out of a window.
Yeah.
But like basically behind the bench.
Right.
Is like one of the only ways to get a puck.
Which is exactly where. And we were in the second row, and in front of us there was a lady who had bought up like 20 seats kind of all around us and the front row, and she was acting like she was like the mayor of our section, and I hated her. She was just very off-putting.
She's like, what are you guys doing here?
And she sat like the tall guy in front of me, and I was like, come on, just put the kid there, you know? And it fell like right behind her chair, and she goes, like, and she got super excited, almost like she was so rich, like the player got it to them or something.
Yeah.
And I go, puck! And I yelled it really loud, and I dove down.
You did not.
And I boxed this lady out. And because like a stiff shoulder can still keep a 1%er out, and I did, and we didn't even belong there.
You're like, these tickets are comped.
Yeah, exactly. Comp tickets. And then Joel dove down, and he got the puck. And Joel got the puck, and everyone started cheering. And then Joel stood up in his chair, like, and put his hands out, like the gladiator scene, and took in the moment as everybody, which nobody told him to do that. He just got the puck, and he stood up, and like the whole arena started cheering from. And whatever her name, I don't even know of course I didn't know her name. She was furious.
She was?
She was so mad. Like
no.
like it was like the scene. It was kind of like how when the guys end up with Lloyd and Harry end up in the money and with Dumb and Dumber. Like we weren't supposed to get it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't for she was mad, and it made it so much sweeter, and everyone cheered for him, and he got a puck. It was incredible. A foul puck. Those don't happen.
Amazing.
It was incredible. It stayed cold for a long time. Also, it was really funny as we got in the elevator to leave, and there was like a couple in there, and I was like, he just got a puck. Isn't that incredible? And they literally said nothing. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Seattle people are mean. They're not like a nice group of people.
They're not like, that's so great for you.
No, it's the Seattle chill, right? You're like, oh no, you guys are just mean, cold, upsetting people.
Yeah.
But they're nice drivers.
They're very
don't
timid.
talk to Seattleites,
Yeah.
but they will let you merch.
They're very, very timid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate you guys so much. Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. We want to give a special shout out to our Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up patrons. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Adam Bush,
Averill Griffiths,
Bonnie Galindo,
Carrie T,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Demarius Diaz-Stevens,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Farrah Journey,
Isaac Teron,
Jennifer Ashley Downs,
Jessica Sewell,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Caros,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capin,
Tiffany Payne,
Trey Turner, and
Jason
Jason
White.
White. Jason, you got both of us on that last one. Thank you guys so much for your support. It means the world to us.
Thank you.